Jamal, don't say we're not live when we're not live. Okay? We are live. Just telling you that right now.
Oh, I see it on mine now. That last time, I swear, it was not there. It was not there. And I was like, what are y'all? Oh, you're practicing. Oh, no, we're really live. I'm just
Okay,
delayed.
while I'm over here laughing, I need to go start the live on. So we're gonna give you guys like a brief synopsis, right? We in the background, we setting up this whole show, we doing this and that, and we always do it the same way every time. But we're about to go into our 39th episode, and tomorrow is Tony's episode. But see, we had such a nice weekend this weekend. We wanted to bring on not only somebody who attended it as a person of interest in the building, but the person next to me over here is the one who slaughtered the event. And when I say slaughtered, she was the hostess with the mostest. And we just jumped in. We're not even going to be doing all that intro stuff anymore. We're just going to jump right in the show. We're going to hold off on the announcements because we basically riding off of the hype of everybody's coming onto the show to hear Tony talk about the Builders Town Hall. And we also have Marcus on the show today. He's going to be talking about the cadaver dogs that he had come out to look for some certain items. So we'll have him get started. I'm Brian Bacchus, and you're not.
I'm Jamal Smith. Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of AltadenaTalks, where we provide you the resources to help you recover from the crazy disasters that happened with the Eaton fires. And we're glad to have you. And we also have
Looks like the Brady Bunch.
Tony.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Tony Talks.
But she's not talking right now. She's in the background. So she's on mute, and we're going to let her do her thing. Marcus, you got the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all eyes on me. Put Marcus in the forefront.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, man.
Jamal, I'm going to put myself behind the ATF logo.
Okay. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
I know. Isn't that funny? Mm-hmm. Marcus, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Jamal, you and Marcus were having a conversation. I know, Marcus, you told me at the town hall that you had to leave the town hall, that you had something that you needed to do at your house. So why don't you go ahead and segue that into what we're doing?
Okay, so at the amazing town hall, Tony, great job. I greatly appreciate all your efforts and everyone that was there that spoke. I did have to leave right around Q&A time so I could get up to the house to meet up with a team of cadaver dogs and archaeologists to locate my father-in-law's cremains. So they were right on time. We pulled up at the same time, and we got to work. They had two cadaver dogs, and then there was like 3 archaeologists, as well as someone that was kind of documenting everything. And we spent almost past 2.5 hours looking. And so Jamal, I don't know if you want to show this now. I sent Jamal some video and some pictures of the process. And then we can talk more about it after the video if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me just pause this real quick. Cool.
2 little urns made out of metal. Yeah, kind of around that area.
That was it.
So the process is um they have they bring two dogs. And the reason they do that is they run the dog and let them go around and see where they pick up scents from. And once the dog picks up scents, they take that dog away and then they bring another dog. And they let the dog go through his thing and they use that as verification, and confirmation of a specific location, a location of interest. They actually called it like a hot spot, um,
Mm.
where that's where they want to focus. So once they do that, then that's when the archaeologists go into action and they start, uncovering and looking for different for what they're looking for is pieces of the urn or things that were in the room that could have been close to where the urn was, the location of the family member. So it's very important for, of course, someone to be there to kind of give them that insight to let them know if they're on the right track or the wrong track. So the challenge was, and they admitted to me that this was their uh, first case in Altadena with the basement. And so in essence, where they were, that was the basement. So all three floors, my father-in-law was on the top floor in our bedroom, my wife and I bedroom. So he came to rest somewhere in the basement. And
Wow.
going through the rubble that was left from the three floors, the chances of the vessel being intact and the ashes being all together very, very slim, especially since the winds were still going, right?
Oh,
Like,
right.
so that was the challenge. But they were so persistent and so willing to keep looking. And I honestly felt like we got to the point where I actually had to kind of ask them, is there something else we can do other than continue? There ain't no suits, those suits, the onesies. They're in
Yeah.
those with the mask on and everything and gloves and everything, and you can see them sweating, turning colors and everything, but they wanted to keep going. And I really wanted them to as well. But I had to ask them if there was something else we can do. Like, could we get something from the area that the dogs picked up on,
Right.
knowing that that's where my father-in-law was. Part of him was there, if not, a good amount, at least part of it, so we can, have something memorialized. And so they did that. They collected the soil and of course had ash and everything in it, and they put it in a Ziploc bag and they had a special case to put it in to hold until we determine what we'll do with it at that point. So we weren't successful in finding the vessel, um, but certainly they have been very successful in Altadena finding the remains of loved ones. And I strongly, if anybody in Altadena is looking for, or even Palisades or wherever, looking for loved ones, um, their cremains, I would highly suggest that you just go on their website, and I'll try to provide that to Jamal, um, and just sign up. It's very simple. They're gonna ask you the name. They're gonna ask you
Is it this
your
site right
make.
here? It says
Yes.
Alta Heritage. Where do I go on here?
Yep. Uh,
There's a need service, volunteer, or donate.
a need service.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Cremains recovery questionnaire. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and it is very
Mm,
like it's like a
we didn't
one
see when
page
you clicked on
type
it.
thing.
Really? Oh no, because it's a different tab. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, so you just go through the process of filling out the questionnaire, and then they go to work. And these teams are not local. I mean, out of the I think six people that were there, six or seven, only one was from California, one was from Huntington Beach. Everybody else was from Oregon. and Arizona. There was one from Arizona. So this is just people that are wanting to help you find your loved ones, and are determined in doing so. And so, if you guys are looking for that type of service, it's not too late as long as you haven't done phase two. And what I did learn is that if you do sign them up, they'll actually reach out to the Army Corps engineer, um, and just ask them to pause on doing the phase two until they come in and search your property for the cremains. So after Saturday, after we finished, I then gave them the okay to go ahead and notify Army Corps engineers to go for phase two. Um, so I mean the experience was it was great. It was amazing. Everybody, every team member was very invested in looking and wanting to find it. You can tell they really care and take pride in their ability to locate. And so it was definitely something that, again, if you guys are needing closure or an opportunity to pivot and go forward with your loved ones or a memorial of your loved ones, I highly recommend it. I know it's going to help my wife tremendously. It's going to help me tremendously, knowing that we went for and utilized that resource, and have something of her father with us going forward. So it was a great experience, and I assured them they were apologetic, and I told them no, it was nothing to apologize for. You guys, I told them I could tell you guys don't want to quit. I could tell, and it just came to the point that you know it just wasn't going to happen, and just being realistic, right? Again, 100 miles per hour winds were still happening when the house came down and was burning in the basement. If that vessel wasn't intact, the ashes, would go everywhere. So got to be realistic in signing up for something like that as well, and not torture yourself or the volunteers that are actually in those suits, sweating and looking. We got to come to a point that okay, we've done what we can. We can't say we didn't try, and that should be good enough, and it was.
Man, that's amazing. Do you know of anyone close to you specifically that may be utilizing them as well? I know you're recommending to folks who are listening, what have you, or whoever watches this, but do you know anybody else that you know that's utilized them
I
or are going
I
to?
do know that my cousin Ed. I know that his mom's next door neighbor used them, and I believe they used them as well to locate my cousin, my uncle.
Yeah.
So I do know of personal success stories as well. It just so happened that the location, I mean the basement was different. Um, and so that made it tricky because the backside of the house was just three floors. And so there wasn't nothing to determine where the room ended and where the room started, the next room started. And so we were looking for things like I found like some weights that were in my room. Just some dumbbells that were in my room, but they were down in the basement. So we kind of used that as a point of reference. But we knew it was kind of closer to the outside wall, and so we had to, but it was a guesstimate.
Sure.
But the archaeologists, they went all the way down to the floor of the basement. They dug all the way down to the floor and kind of searched sifted through like I would say either 4 or 5 foot by like 3 or 4 foot area,
Hmm.
just trying to find a piece of the vessel or the ashes. We did come across two potential ash locations because of the color uh, of the pile that was there, that they wanted to bring the dogs back in and let them smell around that,
Hmm.
but it wasn't what they thought. But the process was good. And they were very open, and like I was asking them questions throughout the process, like how does it help that it rained versus did it make it more challenging because of the rain? And they said that with the rain, it probably is more helpful because it kind of could seal off that area. It could keep things kind of in a specific location
Hmm.
versus if it hadn't rained. So they're very knowledgeable, and again, major kudos and appreciation for all their effort. I really appreciate it, and my wife does as well.
That's dope. That's really, really cool. I'm glad you were able to do that because I know we talked about the first time you were on. I'm glad they were able to circle back and actually do a full,
Yeah.
um, check. So that's really cool. Do you mind if we kind of switch subjects real quick before? And I know you probably got to go.
That
No,
website,
I don't
there's
mind.
the
Oh
website.
yeah. So the website, it was posted and it's right there online right now. It's ALTAHF.org. So if you can see it and want to check it out, please definitely go there. The segue was just how things are going in terms of the cleanup and moving forward to taking the next step to phase three, which would be starting the building process. Because I know you guys were purple, right? So you didn't have an
Yeah,
official phase one. You
yeah,
guys were held off to do both at the same time.
yeah. And we were purple because of the basement.
That's
Um,
right.
so so the so I will tell you, this past weekend was a great. It had great signs for me, with regards to progress. There was two houses on my block that were phase two had already started. They were scraping the properties.
Okay.
Three houses up, and I think three houses down, both on the same side of the street. They were already going through phase two.
Wow.
Um,
Now these are
that was
folks
the
that didn't have
first
basements, right?
correct,
Okay.
correct, and that was the first movement, or I'll take that back. The first action I saw was on Friday. I had gone up there, just took a drive, and when I went up there, I saw a water truck, and this water truck was three houses up and turned the water on, so the water's spraying out to on the properties, and he went three houses down, and he kept going back and forth, wetting the soil and everything. And my assumption was that's to keep the dust down, to keep the dust down. And but they're getting ready to do those properties. That's my assumption. And so that was on Friday. So I said, okay. So then when I got to our house, I looked, and we had the signage um, from from the Army Corps, and saying that basically we're ready, right? Um, and everybody on our street had that. I saw the sign. It's like, okay, so that was the first time that I saw action. And then on Saturday, I see the two properties being done, and one was the first house that was being watered down
Okay.
the day before. And I I was pleasantly surprised and pleased to see that something was actually happening on the block. You
I know
know,
that's right.
um,
Oh,
so with that, it just it's becoming more real with regards to uh, kind of turning the page and rebuilding, um, versus just seeing the ruins. You seeing things being hauled away and getting ready. So it still, to me, doesn't seem efficient, and I'm sure we all feel that way with regards to it being two houses like 6 doors apart. I
it's
mean,
like
it's
just do
better
them
than
all.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's better than one that I was seeing on certain blocks here and there. At least there's two on this block, but it
Hmm.
just seemed like you would start at the top and you'll work your way
Work your
down. As
way
long as
down
you're,
and keep the dust levels
yeah,
low.
yeah, as long as
And get it
as
knocked
you're
down.
all in. And I know
Yeah.
that our neighbors, we have a group chat type thing, and everybody had signed up and everything. So yeah, I feel, the bottleneck is at the verification or the review process with the rights of entries.
Oh, okay.
Because tons of people, like my mom, she did hers. She got verification that hers was received on January 30th.
Yeah, she was like
And
one
here
of the
we
early
are.
ones, right?
Yeah, yeah. And here we are. We're in
March.
March, and we still haven't been notified that it's been approved.
We're a third of
And
the
I
way
don't,
through March.
yeah, and I don't understand the approval process, right? Like, what are you approving? Like, we're asking you
Got
to
somebody at the
do
door. I'll be
this.
right back.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that, and maybe it's just the verbiage being used, but it doesn't make sense that there's a process or approval that's needed. It's just verifying, and we can use their website to look at our property being ruined. So if we can do that, they can do that. And this
Right?
process, there shouldn't be paperwork piled up on anybody's
Aren't
desk,
they
you
the
know?
one that created the heat
So,
map anyway?
so I don't think
Yeah.
that it's about the approval or whatever, and I can understand the frustration, Marcus, but you're looking at 6,600 homes, right, in Altadena
Mhm.
alone, and then a total of 13,000 between Palisades and Altadena. They're not only
Mhm.
doing Altadena. This opt-in is for both, and depending
Right.
on when people opt in is how it's being done, right? And so somebody
Right.
that's just opting in this week, they for real going all the way to the back,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Nah,
they
that,
probably won't get touched till May or June or who knows when, right? That's why in the beginning we were saying don't opt out. It's too many other things that you have to do,
yeah.
and you may
Right.
not. But even still, you still have until March 31st. But what happens?
Right.
My understanding is when they get it, the first step is that phase one where they've got to go out, find all the hazardous. And there were some blocks that everybody opted in immediately, others that didn't. And they're not doing it block by block, which, like we talked about last week, would make more sense. And when I was giving the example of if they did, Parkman and Concha before doing Wapello and Athens or whatever, it didn't make sense, right? To do the top or the bottom before a top street, right? Do
Right.
the bottom streets or the streets at the south and go up. That way you don't have the ash and all the debris falling on properties that aren't ready or that are ready to
And
start
are below you.
and those aren't right. So makes sense, like you were just saying. But it's so random. Even when Brian and I were up there, like we saw one on my mom's block, right? And then we saw one being done on Las Flores and Marengo. And now I know Las Flores has several others, but it's so incredibly random. But if phase one hasn't been done, and for my parents' street, I know that one was way towards Lake on Wapello. But I had put on there, I called and I had to call my mother and say, I told them don't mark yours as ready yet, because don't go and try to clear all that the spray paint cans, the propane tanks, all of that first, because we need to sift. And I signed up with Samaritan's Purse. They called me last week, but then we wound up going sifting ourselves, me, my sons, my daughter, a bunch of people, one of my homeboys. We wound up sifting ourselves 3 or so weeks ago and taking shovels and sifters that we found at another property one day. And because they were out by the curb or whatever, right? Or off. And I was like, okay, they sifted, they must be available. So we took them over there and then sifted for several hours down to the subfloor, right? That was in the living room, that was in my mom's dividend, that was in the office, looking for items, that was in my parents' bedroom. And so then as soon as we left that day, I called the Army Corps back and said, okay, this property is ready for you to go do your thing. And a few days later, I drove up there and they had done their thing and everything was brought to like the top of the driveway. That, trust me, we sifted and I didn't see spray paint cans and all this stuff that they found. So they know how to do it. Then after that, they go back in put that sign out. It's ready, right? And I literally saw, not only did I call, but I saw somebody driving around, and I told her, hey, can you put in your system that we just finished sifting and this house is now ready? She said, sure, I will. And then I also called to make sure it was actually, marked. And a couple of days later, drove up there. They had the sign up, or I think maybe the next day on a Sunday or whatever, had the sign up, and it was ready. So after that, that's when it gets into that queue for the contractors. And because there's just not enough contractors that are actually approved, because when Brian and I were up there, we asked the guy, how is this being done? And he said, well, we're contractors, and they're trying to hire enough contractors so it could be a 24-hour round-the-clock operation. Today, it's still not a 24-hour round-the-clock operation because they don't have enough contractors that have the right certifications, licenses, and insurance, is my understanding.
That's the key word right there, Tony. They don't have enough that have the credentials. That should not be an argument.
Right. So people are coming, even someone that was at the town hall Saturday came up to me afterwards. He was like, hey, I'm a demolition guy. I also do restoration. I said, oh, okay. He said, and I'm trying to get in, but the county's making it difficult. I said, well, what do you mean the county's making it difficult? He said, well, I said, do you have all the certifications, the insurance, the bond, the licenses that you need to be a hazardous materials debris removal company? Well, no. And I said, then the county's not making it difficult. You don't have what you need, right? Already in place. You have a restoration company and you have a demolition company's certifications, right? So if you don't already have it, now you have to go get it. You can't just sign something up online and get it that day. There is an absolute process. And when it comes to hazardous materials, you got to have hazmat certification, and you're not going to just get that overnight. And so, what happens is they are really trying to find enough contractors that have it, like the whole package, so that SBA, because that's who's also giving the contracts, SBA, because somebody contacted me last week and said, hey, you're a woman-owned business. You're a veteran-owned, service-disabled veteran-owned. We see you in SAM.gov. We also see you on the California website. Do you have companies that you can have come under you? Because we're trying to give these contracts out for this hazardous debris removal in Altadena. And I was like, or they said California, not Altadena. And I was like, I don't know of any yet. And they said, okay, we're going to try to contact you in the next week or two. If you do have somebody, basically I would be the prime, they would be the sub, right? They're looking literally for people that can do this. Because I even told the guy, say, give me your number. If I find out and you get all your materials, we'll do something together. So if they have it, they can get in and try to help with the debris removal. And I think, Marcus, it will speed up. But I think the problem is there's just not enough of these contractors, based on our conversations out there with the people and others that, are going and have better knowledge than even me. But what I'm hearing and then understanding and taking away from it is there's not enough people that have what's needed to be approved to get these contracts to go up there and help with the debris removal. And it is spread amongst Altadena and Palisades.
Yeah. And that's a very good point that, I have to sometimes remind myself is that, there's another area right here in Southern California that has the same thing going on, that the resources are going to be, split. And so, it's, of course we all have amazing patience. But of course, we're all going to run out of it as well, because it's the desire and need to progress and to turn the page, and we just don't want to have the page sitting on the same number for too long. It's only going to delay the healing that's got to take place. The longer the things are just sitting the same.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm with you. I totally. I'm trying to be as understanding and empathetic when I go and get information and bring it back. Like, okay, how can we get this information correctly and accurately out here to people so that they have it and know that we are trying to provide as much as we can to all of you, right? Because again, Brian suffered it, Jamal and I didn't. But that's our hometown. That's, my parents' house is our family home of 57 years. So I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure my parents and then my sister in her home of 10 has what they need, and all of you in Altadena have what you need. So I always have to, again, my sister reminded me, she was like, Tony, you're 2 months ahead of us. We're just not there yet. And I go, yeah, I'm 2 months ahead because I'm not in it. I'm impacted by it, but I'm not in it. And so I have to slow down and go, okay, I can get this information and be 2 months ahead. But then when I provide the information, if you don't immediately take it and run with it, like I'm doing, that's okay. Right. So every day I have to go, okay, you gave it, you'll have to give it again and again and again, but don't be upset because somebody gets it and they're not ready to take it and just run a sprint with it, right? Because you guys are still processing the loss and processing, okay, now what do I do with this information? Because I think my mother.
Yeah, and on top of that,
go ahead.
On top of that, we're still looking for housing.
Yeah,
Lots
you
of
know,
people still are.
right.
Yeah.
So it's you're right. We're getting a wealth of information, especially here on Altadena Talks. That and it's gonna be where I come when it's time to utilize the information, because I know it's gonna be here. But someone who's not into Altadena Talks, or who's kind of out of the loop, it's just gonna be totally overwhelmed, because like right now I'm able to filter through Altadena Talks. Like I'm having mine stored away, and know that it's my resource where I can come and get it. But others who are just kind of out there, kind of free falling, it's gonna be overwhelming and that much more frustrating.
And that's where those town halls kind of really play a role, because you actually get face-to-face time. Sometimes, like you were saying, not everybody is on the web, on the interweb, or whatever little funny names they used to call it. And some people just like to have that face-to-face, right? So that's going to be very helpful. And the beauty is, especially for us, our stuff is stored on a website. It's stored where you can watch these recordings over and over, at least in certain locations. As B was sharing me that some of these platforms are changing some of their rules in terms of how long you can store your videos. But we'll tackle that when we need to. But we're trying to bring the resources in as many ways as we feel are necessary, right? So
and it's a great service, honestly. Like what you guys are doing is something that
thank you, man.
I know all of Altadena appreciates. I know I do, and my family does, because it's awesome, and you guys are doing a great job. And so do not ever let anybody discourage you from doing what you're doing, because you guys are helping a lot of people, and it is therapy. I'm sharing Brian's therapy. I'm tuning in as often as I can, and when I don't, I'm going to those recordings. So, it's just something that is definitely needed, and it's just an amazing resource center for Altadena. So keep it up. Thank you, and great job to all three of you guys. Tony, that town hall was top notch. I mean, honestly, it was more than I expected, and you did an awesome job. The panel was great. The food was great. And even the setup was great. I was telling Brian and Jamal that even the way you had it set up, and providing pins and the flyer that had everybody, so you can put a face with the name, and all of that attention to detail was worth it, and great job. Thank you.
Yeah, I went and bought them pins the night before and ran them flyers off the night before, because I was like, people gotta have something, right?
Right. That was awesome.
And I thought about it, what would I want to see or have on the table? When a couple of builders got there, or panelists got there, they immediately went and started putting their flyers on the table. And I said, pick them up. And they were like, why can't we put our flyer? I said, because I said, I said, because you will have a table over there, you have your materials there, and people can come to you. This is going to be one flyer with everyone's material, because if somebody didn't bring flyers, then somebody else has more of an advantage, right? And if somebody wants to go talk to all the builders, then that person who might not have brought flyers, they have to talk for themselves, right? And so I wanted it to be a level playing field, and I wanted it to have everyone's, and that's it, and not someone else's, and they looking through or whatever. So they were looking like, and I was like, take them off. I said, if you don't, I will. And if I take them off, I'm throwing them away. I'm not going to put them in a stack and give them back to you, right? So, so I just wanted it to be level and fair for everyone, and give the pins, because people may or may not bring something to write with, and who knows? And then
and guess what? They weren't branded pins. They were straight from Staples. They didn't have AltadenaTalks.
I think they were big or something. I don't know. I just picked up a couple boxes, a blue box and a black box. That was it.
Right. They were used to write with. That's what they were.
Exactly. And then the way that Alex set up the waters in the front in the shape of an A.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I noticed that right when I came in. I was like, man, that's just that detail that was needed. I'm sure everybody took something away with the waters being shaped in the A. That was awesome.
Yes, this is about Altadena. So, and let me say something. I don't mean to slight Pasadena or Sierra Madre. I've said this before. I'm from Altadena, and so that's what's on my brain. And Altadena was the most devastated. Yes, Pasadena had pockets, and people did lose in Pasadena, and I guess Sierra Madre had some damage as well. I know they had a lot of flooding afterwards. If there were homes lost, obviously our hearts go out to both those things. But my brain is Altadena, and this is AltadenaTalks, right? And so, but that is not to negate any damage by anyone in our surrounding communities, because it's all love in the San Gabriel Valley. So, but yeah, I did, he did the waters for me. He said, I'm going to put them out. I was like, okay. He was like, should we do them just all like this, or the table is round? And I said, Alex, this is the AltadenaTalks Builder Townhome. He said, I got you. And he put him in the A. And afterwards he was like, Tony, come look. And I was like, see, you got it. That aligned perfectly. And that's it. So I'm super thankful he did that. And then, thank you for saying that. I'm very, very thankful and glad that you enjoyed it and that it provided value, because that's what it was about, was let's provide information that hopefully is valuable. I know my own mother stood up, kind of shaded me, but mamas do that. She was like,
I missed that.
Huh?
I missed that.
She was like, at Q&A, she stood up, she was like, yeah, this was a lot of great information, but a little bit too much information. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. This now, I wanted to be like, girl, did you just But no, I get it, right? Because what's happening is we're 60 days in, right? 2 months in.
Seems like a year.
Every day there's info, not just from us, but the resource center, everybody on Facebook, and it's just like info, and everybody has to try to breathe and grasp and filter through the info and figure out what they need and what they don't. So again, the purpose of the town hall was, here's info now on how to get started on your next phase. Here are some builders. Here's some good info from the fire marshal, which again, I brought Jeff up first so that he could give, this is why, these are what the laws are, so that when the builders started talking, if you all didn't understand it before, you really wouldn't. And I wanted him to kind of give a framing around it so people could go, oh, now I understand, that's why, or this is what a setback means, or whatever. So people thanked me for that. I saw someone yesterday because I said this apartment complex in Monrovia is now Little Altadena, where a lot of Altadenians are. And they've asked me, could I bring it there? So I'm going to be calling them today and see if in a couple of weeks I can bring this same town hall there. And if so, what are you laughing at, Brian? He's so crazy. And if so, we'll do it again there. And then by the end of this week, the goal is everyone who came, there were about, I think, 150 people. We have a lot of emails outside of those that registered, but we want to do a summary and some question and answers and the contact information of everyone who was there. Because on the form, I think I had their name, some of the websites, their license number, but I want to make sure people have their email address to email them directly, their phone numbers to call them directly, if need be, after, I get all of that from them. And then I want to bring everyone back somewhere where it's separate areas like breakout rooms, right? And we may even do it on Zoom because people are all over. So I don't want to say you have to convene in this one area, but I have professional workplace Zoom that I pay for every month. I can have breakout rooms, and I don't have a limit to, 100 or 250 people. I think I can have 1,000 or so, or unlimited. And so we can do it and do breakout rooms where Allison is here, and anyone who wants to meet with her and ask her questions can meet in Allison's breakout room for a few minutes. Some can meet with Sal, some can meet with Ariel, they could break out with Kendra, they could break out with everyone in the breakout rooms on Zoom, and then we can switch it, right? And do 10 or 15-minute sessions so we can have an hour, Zoom call or longer if people want that. And it will give people a little bit more opportunity to meet with them, because we did run out of time for Q&A, right? Get some of those questions answered. And then if they want to consult with them and do a free consultation based on what they have from these breakout rooms, they can do that, which I think will be very beneficial. So I'm going to work with the builders today and tomorrow to see when would be good. I think it will probably be an evening on maybe a Wednesday or Thursday, because I know several people they work those Monday through Friday hours, and they try to have their weekends to themselves, even as builders, and they have that right. So we'll announce it here. We'll put the link here, the invite and all of that. But that is the goal, is to provide that opportunity to people to be able, and those that weren't able to attend, to come on, meet in those rooms with the builders that were there, have lots of Q&A. Again, they can start out saying who they are, what they do, present themselves, and go from there. And hopefully get more and more people involved with this group, and see what we can do to help people get started in the process. Because that's the biggest thing, is to get you started, right? Even if it's started thinking about it, and then going to different breakout rooms, meeting with people, seeing who best fits your needs. If it's nobody in this group, that's fine. You can go outside. But if part of this group gets you at least more information and more knowledgeable, so that you can go and speak with someone else and get in that process, even before your lot is cleared, you might be able to get your plans and all of that developed with your builder, your design builder, your architect, and possibly even have them submitted and approved. So whenever your lot is ready, boom, we got your permit, we can start. And that's my goal, is to really wish there was we're going to go on and do that, Elaine. And I'm hoping to find out with the builders if I can do it this week or next week. Because there are thousands of people, obviously, that need the information. And I don't want to say, oh, we did it, that's it, or we're going to do it again somewhere in person, and that's it. We have to make it available to everyone. So that is my goal right now, is to get that started. But I'm super thankful we were able to have this one on Saturday. So thank you for the feedback.
Oh, no problem, man. One of the things I do want to highlight also is what you mentioned at the town hall. It really needs to be kind of put out there as often as possible. Just like we were talking, there's not enough contractors right now to do the phase 2. We are going to face that same challenge when it comes to building. And the Altadenians for Altadena is a must.
Yes.
I mean, if you're able to do, if you're able, you sign up and just participate. My wife and I, we've done Habitat for Humanity.
Me too.
And we understand, and it's not that you gotta be a builder.
Right.
There's something that you can do, that you can contribute, and you can progress the city by being involved. And so I encourage anybody that's able, and don't think that you have to be a builder. Don't think that you have to be able to swing a hammer. You can do something that is gonna help. And so please make
To
sure
provide
that
lunches for the people who are slinging the hammers,
Exactly.
provide water.
yeah, exactly. There is a need and there's a space for everybody who is able
Yes.
to be part of this. That is going to help Altadena get back faster.
Yeah.
We
Thank
know
you,
that there's
Marcus.
going to be a shortage of labor. We know that. Again, we have something else going on in Southern California also,
Right.
and so we know that the resources are going to be split. We can fill some of that void by being our able bodies volunteering and be boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know if Palisades is even thinking like that, but I'm glad that Altadena is, because we gotta have it. We gotta have it.
Definitely. So did you find the link, Brian?
Yeah, I'm about to pop it up right now.
Okay, cool. If you could pop it up and pop it on the channels, that would be fabulous. And what we're doing, guys, for this volunteer, I'm calling it Altadenians for Altadena, right? Similar to Habitat for Humanity, but it is my desire to build an entire volunteer army, hundreds of people. There was a lady that came up to me that said, afterwards, it said her friends from out of state are like, when you start, can we come and help you rebuild? And I was like, absolutely. We have that. And we are going to be, having that information available. She said, perfect. I'll email you because this is how we got to get it done. I like what you were saying. And I was like, perfect. We need people to do this. Like I said, Loma Alta Park, I got an email the other day. And for the county, for Loma Alta Park, every Saturday in April, you can also sign up because they're rebuilding that. The Dodgers are giving us those 2 dream fields, and they're rebuilding everything, and they plan to open in May. And so every Saturday, there's shifts from like 9 to 11, 11 to 1. They need people to help with landscaping. They need people to help with painting. I've already signed up for every single Saturday in April from 9 to 11. And so they get it. They need volunteers to get this done. That's the same thing we're trying to do. And we do have the waiver. So everybody that signs up through the volunteer, there will be a set date that we email all the waivers out, because we do want to make sure that people sign those waivers. They send them back to us at AltadenaTalks, at the email box for it. And it'll be a fillable waiver also. So you don't have to like print it out, sign it, scan it back in, all of that. But
yeah, because who has a printer at their house now?
Right. A lot of people do not. So I made it a fillable waiver when I created it. And the thing about it is, we want you to volunteer, because if I am boots on the ground and I'm there every day to help rebuild the house Brian lives in, whether it's using a screwdriver to screw something in, whether it's using a hammer or a nail gun or a impact driver to drive, a screw in or whatever, I don't care.
Or holding the shadow cover for the film producer that's filming it, because I'm documenting.
Because he's gonna be out there doing it. Yeah, I'm not holding the cover for you.
And action. Okay.
But whatever it is, we need each other to bring our town back, and so we need that. Anyway, I gotta jump. I have a meeting at 11, which is about a minute away. I'm excited. Thank you so much for sharing about your family's experience, Marcus. That I was like, oh my gosh, right? I've never experienced that. So thank you for the courage to get on here and share it. Thank you for being there and the feedback. And I'll be on tomorrow so we can talk about and show pictures and video from Saturday.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy.
Thank you to all 150 plus people that showed up Saturday to make it what it was. Talk to y'all later.
Thank you for having the light bulb up there. Like, we need to do this now.
We have to.
Because we had to get it away from all the debris, this. What's her name? Barger. Altadena Town. People want to hear something positive, so that's what it was.
We got to do it for each other and get us to where we need to be. So I will see y'all later. Have a good rest of the show. See you, Jamal.
All right, thank you.
See you. Sorry, I had to reboot the computer. I had updates.
You had updates before you could do your updates?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. All
right, Tom. Yeah, she's gone like the wind.
So I was trying to listen But where do we leave off? What are we doing now?
Well, we last left our heroes. Marcus had finished up his praising us, and you missed all of that. You missed it all. He was like, "Man, thank God, the Lord has blessed us."
Now he told all that to me earlier this morning.
Oh, so
Yeah, he was.
So you heard what we got the regurgitated version.
Yeah, I mean, again, he was talking about how, man, Tony she put it down, man. She organized it. She kept everybody in line, on time,
He was
and all the
security.
great resources. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, and it really was her brainchild, right? This is something she already had in mind to do before she came or got involved with me and B and Altadena Talks. So
that's why we were sharing all this stuff.
Absolutely. Well,
she became the information portal I was going through daily between her and Stacy Dove. There was a couple of them, Pepper Triplet. A few of them was given, like, posting a whole bunch of different things, right? And I would share people's stuff after I looked at it, of course. I didn't have to worry about Tony's because she's going to thoroughly vet herself before she even posts the thing up there anyway. So it was great. I was like, man, you know what? Now we got the platform and the conduit to get it out there, and that's all we're here for. We're just here. This is Altadena Talks. This is not Altadena's Builders Forum. This is not Altadena Debris Consortium. This is we giving you everything that we see that's of value so that you can continue to go back and look at the previous videos. What was that resource they was talking about and the other thing?
We want y'all to make educated decisions. We want to provide all the resources so you can do that. You know what I mean? Because we want you to do it right and the way that you want it, and know how to do it in the proper sequence and what have you. So yeah, it's beautiful. I told Tony when she explained to me about how it went, and I got some feedback from a few other people, Marcus, you included. I was not really surprised at all. Just knowing I've gotten to know her through this show, and again, I'm just not surprised. She's not going to be part of anything that's not going to be on point. And then it just helps everybody, right? It helps everybody involved. So that's good. So we'll have others on. We'll have the next one. We'll keep you up to date with that. And, in the meantime, we're trying to bring other builders, other people that are of resources to you guys. And if you have any ideas, let it be known. We want to hear from the people, just like you, Marcus, and everything. And just for those, who don't know, or I've mentioned many a times that my wife's family, like 9 of them lost 9 homes. Marcus is one of those, right? That's my wife's cousin. I'm part of the family because of her and everything. And they were hit hard, and that was their home. I mean, we all feel it, right? But from my vantage point, their home was like a hub. There were multiple hubs in their family, but this is a hub where folks would go for like Easter and do, Easter egg hunting. But Easter egg hunting, even at this age, kids are teenagers, and they would still kind of do that and look forward to it. And if it didn't happen,
that was a tradition that you set.
Yep. But then, like you said, games afterwards in the backyard and after Marcus barbecued and man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So I'm hopeful for them because they're hopeful on the regrowth and the rebirth of their neighborhood and what have you. So it's encouraging to see that what we're providing is helpful, and this is the way I give back. And for me in particular. So it's therapeutic for us all in different ways, so
what I noticed for the first time going up on Saturday morning, I went up late. I think it was Saturday. No, it was Friday. I went up on Friday and went up late. And we all know that the mountains are burned, right? Naked. Mm-hmm. But you can see green coming through. You can just see the little green fuzz on the mountain, and I said to myself,
"That's hope.
That's different. That's different." And what I'm saying? I want to share. I want to share while the cadaver dogs were doing their things and the archaeologists were doing their thing, there was a couple of things that were found that were just like out the blue, but were messages. One was like a coaster. It's a coaster of from a set, a whiskey set that my cousin Tori got me. And there was a message on the coaster, and I didn't even get a chance to use them. But the coaster said, I believe it said, "Just keep dreaming," on the coaster, right? And this is something that just was found from the archaeologists while they were looking for my father-in-law, right?
That's
And
dope.
then around the 2 hour mark of that search, there was they came across some like strip of metal, and I don't even know where it came from, but it was in the house, obviously. But this strip of metal, when they took it out, it said something. But when they first pulled it out, it was upside down or whatever. So we look at it, we're all looking at it, and it says faith. And
Wow.
so yeah, so it was like one of those things. It was like messages, right? Like how do I get these two things out of this rubble? These are the. I didn't get my father-in-law like his vessel, but along this journey of finding and getting some memorial cremains, I get these messages. Just keep believing, or just keep dreaming, and to have
Hey.
faith. And
Yeah.
it was one of those things that I like, man, this is, it hits hard, right? Like,
Okay.
but it was needed, right? It was needed, and I received those messages, and those messages and coming from the rubble and stuff are what will keep me encouraged and driven to get to the end result,
Yeah,
It's
I
like a
saw that
spiritual
when
level set.
National Geographic was filming us up there, and I walked down the driveway, and there's a green sprout coming out of the ashes. And I said, "Look at that! Mother Nature killed us, and Mother Nature trying to rebuild us."
Hmm.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
like it's like when you did something bad and your neighbor beat your butt,
But
and then now your mama gonna beat your butt, and that's a lesson. That's Mother Nature telling
Yeah.
us all. Family is stronger than anything that you can throw up against us, and family don't necessarily mean blood.
right.
Oh no.
Or it's
Family
like
is
when you
just
get,
family.
oh, definitely. And some of the best family are the ones you choose.
Because
Some.
Oh yeah,
everybody thought Jamal was my
absolutely.
little brother when we were in school because I would go.
Yeah.
His mom would take me to school every day before he even got to high school.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. No doubt.
She goes, "I thought you had another son."
But man,
uh,
thank you so much, Marcus, for coming on and sharing that. That's awesome. And I look and I agree with you. When you look up at the mountains and you see that green kind of coming back, it's like, okay, there's hope. And to
Trust
me,
me, I
what those
drive up
little
there and
things
look
you're
at that
talking about.
all the time.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. It's almost like a spiritual level set, like the things that you were able to find, faith, and
Hmm.
keep on dreaming, and then
Yeah.
seeing, Mother Nature keep going. It's like God don't stop. Even when you
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
through, the craziness, it's
Right.
like, okay, I'm still gonna let you know I'm here. I'm still gonna let you know I got you.
Right.
You're gonna make it through this. It's a struggle now, but hey, you're gonna be better on the other side of it, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think that's shoot, man, that's amazing, man. To hear from you and then anybody else we bring on, we're encouraged by your stories and your progress in particular, um, and resilience.
Yeah.
That's the truth of Altadena for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you for
yeah.
wearing that shirt today, sir.
Hey man, I
Appreciate
gotta
you.
represent. I
God,
gotta
Pete.
represent.
Pete was the first one
Hey,
to come on and like the show, and I said, "What's Pete doing on here?" Then I looked at your shirt and said, "Oh, okay." So Pete
hey, and
really does watch the show all the time. He's like, "Oh, he
yeah,
got a shirt on today."
and let me just say this about the Greenwood Project. Like, you can draw from that. You can draw from that film, like, as to where we're at, you know. And to have been there at the screening, and to hear from the descendants from Greenwood, that, we have a sister uh town, you know back in Tulsa that is rooting for us too. And we know we
Right.
got everybody rooting for us, but Greenwood and Terry, cousin Terry, you know, hey man, look, I am proudly representing this shirt because I know that what happened back then it's not the same. The end result is the same.
Mhm.
We're having a rebuild, you know, and it as of the causes different, but there's fire of course involved in both, but we can draw from the strength that they showed, the resilience that they showed in their journey to recovery and rebuilding. We need to draw from that. So whenever you guys see the movie somewhere, check it out. Check it out. You'll grow from it. You'll grow from it. You'll heal from it. You'll learn from it. So for sure, you gotta check it out. I look. I was trying to figure out what I was gonna put on, and it just looked at me, and I said, "Oh yeah,
It was like,
it's on today.
yeah,
Yeah,
me.
it's on today."
It was like,
Yeah,
say
it
it, brother.
look, it there ironed itself.
Right.
Say it, brother. You know, you going on the show. You know, we ain't seen each other in a minute, like you know what I'm saying. Why don't you let me tag along or something like that?
Right.
Right.
I got you.
Hey, speaking
Yeah,
of speaking of the movie though, and I've been asked. Sorry, I'm getting kind of loud. I
Oh, you're
Kira's looking at me like,
hey, buddy, I'm at work.
right. Where can folks see that? Because I was talking to somebody the other day about it, and they were like, "Man, would love to see it." You know, where is it going to be available? Is it going to be on a website? Is it a YouTube channel? Is it anywhere else that it's going to be screened?
Karen, if you want to chime that in, I can just attest to the fact that we are. It's not official yet, and I can't announce it until Tony does. But I think we're going to be involved with an event on the 27th of April. And I told Janetti and the other Heather and Terry that they may be coming back out there during that event. And I was going to get a, what do you call it, one of those blow-up theater screens and just have it play the whole time, you know, just on repeat. And then have them ask questions and answer afterwards. Because there's going to be a variety of people there throughout the day. And it's not necessarily set in stone yet, but that's what I was, you know, trying to get accomplished.
Yeah, it'll be great if for another event. And in addition to that, it'd be super to know if it'll ever be on any sort of streaming service.
Oh, it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be trying to get it on either Tubi or Pluto or some. Karen, look in the comments. Jamal, because I'm not looking at the screen right now, but probably by May, June.
She said it's coming out in April for streaming online. They're still waiting on the platforms.
Okay,
that's great to know, Karen. That's awesome because I want to see it again. You know, in the comfort of my home.
I want my kids to see it, like Jamal.
Yeah,
Jamal had his daughter there, my niece, and she took a lot away from it. I would love for my daughters to see it, and everybody. I mean, honestly, everybody needs to see it. It was great, a great movie.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, cool. Well, we look forward to that in April. We'll definitely keep you guys abreast of that, and share the streaming service that it's going to be on, and then that event that Brian alluded to. Once it's confirmed, we're going to share. We're going to be blowing that up, kind of like what we did for the town hall as well. And give you all the details that are going to be there. Did you want me to go over the announcements, or you want?
You're going to go. We're going to take you out, Marcus, because we're going to be straight. Nobody's going to be on. You're going to be reading announcements. But before I take them out, I want to go over to Instagram because Instagram's got this new thing now that your live can't go over an hour without you restarting it. So everyone, the Instagram has started over because it's been an hour. So we started again. But just want to give a shout out to Motown Moore, Vetty64, Original Underground Media, Mark Norman, Lady Junior, Lady. Yeah, it says Mark Norman. Lady LR, Millie Mills World, E Norman, one joined. Bell Bellman Norman and
See,
Black Fortune.
That's Brandon's family. That's Brandon's
Oh, they all
mom,
on here? Oh, wow.
sister, brother. That's
I
my
didn't even know
brother,
that.
sister. Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
who showed up over there. And we
All
started the
right.
chat over again. So the Instagram over again. So yeah, we got people coming out. Look at
It's
Terry. Look
crazy
at
how they
Terry.
make those changes, though.
Terry got his Bernie Mac eyes on you there, Marcus. I see you, brother. I see you. This is all family. Man. It's all family.
Cousin Terry
Terry
right there.
can't wait to come back out here to California. You think, yeah, man. But this time when they come out here, we're going to have enough time to actually formulate, because I don't have to worry about getting booked in theaters. We got a whole month before this happens. We're going to advertise it to the fullest extent. It's going to be an epic event. And so once we get to the point where we get the actual information of who we're going to be joining to be participating in it, then we'll be announcing that on here. Of course, this is where we do everything. So thank you for coming on, Marcus. I'm going to let Jamal go ahead and take it over. And, you're going to be recurring because, now we got we need to know the process of what you're going through now that you're coming out for purple and when you get your stuff cleared out and then you get the building, we're going to be there every step of the way with you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Every step of the way. So
I'm with y'all.
We're going to be, all eyes going to be on Altadena because we're going to make sure they stay there.
Yes, sir.
So
no doubt. Thank you, brother. And I'll be rapping to you soon.
I appreciate you guys. Thank
all
you.
Right, brother.
All right,
Take
peace.
Care.
All right, today is going to be rather short. We had a lot going on. We had a lot going on last weekend. A lot. And a lot of that stuff is gone. So I'm gonna have a short announcements today.
Yeah, a short moment of silence for the lack of announcements that are coming. See, this is what I'm talking about. Where we still stay here, everybody else is gonna be jumping onto the sidelines. What? Go ahead.
So first and foremost, the LA County Household Relief Grant. This is where you can get up to $18,000, and it's available. You can apply now through March 12th. This is available on LACountyReliefFund.com. This next slide kind of gives you the breakdown. You can get up to $6,000 if you have a household consisting of one or two members, including individuals living alone or couples without dependents. For the $12,000, it have to be a household of 3 people, where at least one person is a dependent minor or a dependent adult. And the last one is $18,000. This is a multi-generational household where there's at least 4 people that include dependent minors and or dependent adults and consist of at least 3 separate generations. And remember, only one grant is going to be awarded to each address. Okay. The disaster relief claim assistance is every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is on Fridays also from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is at Jackie Robinson Community Center at 1020 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. The next one, hey, key deadlines extended. So this first one I haven't shown before, but it's the SBA disaster loan for physical damage. This says March 12th. You know what? I think this should have been extended as well. I had something. I'm going to verify that. But right now it shows that today is the deadline for it. The FEMA. Oh, yeah, that's right. So FEMA has been extended to the 31st. That was supposed to end today. And the LA Region Small Business Relief Fund has been extended to the 12th. And then we have the LA Region Work Relief Fund, which is extended to the 12th. And then the right of entry, that is still the 31st of March. And again, I'll go over these again just to find, just to verify one more time, because I had a conflict in some of the numbers. But those that have been extended in particular, FEMA, that's to the 31st. And I believe one more may have been to the 31st, but I didn't find that officially. So again, the disaster recovery centers at Altadena, it's on 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. It's available from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's 7 days a week. And also remember that the permitting center has spread apart or split apart from that. It is now in its own location. Once again, it's the one-stop permit center, which provide assistance and to property owners in the recovery. And this new location is at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210 in Altadena, and is available Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you want to get more information, you can go to recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding. Now, there is the Altadena community meeting. This is resources and guidance for homeowners and renters whose structures survived the Eden fire. That's today, March 10th from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I believe that is after the weekly update that Catherine Barger provides on the same YouTube channel. Now, you can submit your questions by scanning the QR code. And then if you want to actually go check this out, you go to youtube.com/@ County of Los Angeles Newsroom. That's their YouTube channel. And if you go there now and go to the live section, it'll show that it's supposed to happen in the future, and you can be notified so that you'll know right when it starts. I did see this also in the Pasadena Now or Pasadena Star News. Loma Alta Park in Altadena is going to reopen this May after being closed because of the Eden fire. She made the announcement of the reopening on the 5th. So in addition, she says the park announced that as part of the proceeds from the January 30th Fire Aid benefit concert, Loma Alta Park was awarded $2.4 million grant to rebuild the park's playgrounds. So hey, we've been asking where the money is going. At least we have a little bit idea of some of that money going to good causes, and we know officially that Loma Alta Park will be reopened in May. So as we get more specific dates, we'll give you that information. Also, as we recall, we have the Black Family Wellness Expo. So mark your calendars. It's March 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is also at Jackie Robinson Community Center. It's at 1020 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. For registration information, send an email to B as in boy, F as in Frank, wellness 91109@gmail.com. At this Wellness Expo, there will be free health screenings, free Colgate dental screenings, workshops and resources, snacks, and community resources. And our friends at Union Station Homeless Services, again, they have the free pickups from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every Wednesday. There are hygiene kits with toiletries, deodorants, razors, menstrual products, toothpastes, and toothbrushes. You can get new bedding, towels, and clothing. You can also get full-size body wash, bars of soap, shampoos, and conditioners. For food, there's shelf-stable foods and snacks, as well as sack lunches. And for babies, there's diapers, wipes, and formula, and there are also assorted gift cards. This is at 412 South Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. This is the Union Station Homeless Services Adult Center. And again, it's Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And for information, you can reach out to eatonfire@ushs.org. I think only two more. There's a little bit more than I had anticipated, but there's less than we had last week.
All good, brother.
Right. So if you want to wash up to 6 loads for free, Launder Love is offering every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 8:30 the ability for you to do so. It's at Fair Oaks Laundry at 1344 Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. It's sponsored by Vallejo Drive, Seventh-day Adventist Church in Glendale. And to register, there is a free Eventbrite registration you have to do, and it's at bit.ly/40 capital R capital B as in boy, lowercase v as in Victor, capital L, and the number 9. I believe this is the last one. So again, World Central Kitchen is serving hot meals at key hub locations and offering portable water stations, and has farmer markets across SoCal. The hub stations near us are at the Pasadena Sierra Madre YMCA. This is at 611 East Sierra Madre Boulevard in Sierra Madre, and also a Gordy's Garage parking lot at 843 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. Each location is open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then again from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Gordy's.
Yep. And that's the last one. So I'll take that off. Guess I should add myself to the stage. Yeah. Let's see.
So yes, folks, we did it backwards today. We like to change it up on y'all, let y'all see if you're paying attention. I put a challenge out there. We've done, this is episode 39. Actually, it's really episode 38, but we went live on Saturday. So we considered that an episode from the town hall. So,
yeah.
So with that being said, I think that's right. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at that thing. Yeah, so that makes Tony's show is going to be our 40th episode. And then we'll have our 50th episode on March 25th. So we're actually America's longest streaming podcast dealing with Altadena. Because I don't see anybody else. I mean, it'd be great if anybody else could do it. I mean, I'd love to go on your podcast, as long as I'm vetted. I don't want you to think that I'm coming over there going, I got my own hidden agenda. My love is for Altadena only. I've lived here for years. I've lost everything here. I can feel the plight. I know the pain. I have a passion for it. My childhood was spent here. And, there's nothing else I can really do but love Altadena. So that's where we're at with it.
And thank you, Elaine. I mean, I agree with you, B. My first home was here in Altadena. Like I've told folks before, 3208 North Olive, and that is gone. I learned to ride a bike there, had my first few dogs, had made my friends on that street, Johnny and Gregory Watson, and then Shannon and what was this? Shannon and and Marty Truesdale across the street. Lived next door to the Washingtons, across the street from the Barlows. Man, it's just crazy that whole area being gone. And then of course my in-laws living on Loma Alta, and Marcus and them living around the corner on Las Flores, and it's just crazy. But again, Elaine, just switching subject, thank you so much. Tony had told me about the updates, and I was just trying to find the official document for me to show up, and ironically that snippet or that screenshot that I showed you was from Karen Barger's website. So I'll get all the new updated ones too. So thank you very much.
Keep us in check.
Yeah.
We're for the people. This is y'all's show, not ours. We're just the conduits. We're the messengers. Don't shoot the messengers.
Please don't.
Just change the direction of it. Look, messenger, you go that way. Mm-hmm. Sign in.
But today was a great show, man. Love to hear from Marcus. Tony
last week,
great info
Jamal
as well.
Was broadcasting from Vegas. This week I'm broadcasting from Vegas. So for the next 3 days, I will be broadcasting from Vegas. Because I'm at a trade show right now, and I told everyone, rain, sleet, or snow, which we ain't got none of, I will be here.
Yeah, we'll mess around and get something weird.
Well, we don't need it now. It's too late.
Have a freak snowstorm or something.
Okay, so before we go, I'm going to thank Air Frank, G Knight in your area.
Choo-choo! Air Frank is Frank Beatty. We used to call him Juju when we played basketball. He used to always make us run lines at the end of practice, extra lines. Damn it, Juju. Used to hate that. he was the most athletic player that we had, and he didn't want to listen. Knucklehead. Nah,
Well,
he
you
was
got
outstanding.
Verdugo Wash join pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Playboy D, that's my homeboy D, still a fan for life, and more time more.
Mo, what's up?
So we over here in the house. Thank y'all for joining,
Yep.
and we appreciate it. You know, we just come on here just to give you the real nitty gritty about what's going on.
Yep.
And that's it. So till tomorrow, Tony Talks, which is going to be a doozy because we're going to have lots of video, lots of pictures, and lots of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, my job is cut out for me because after I go back to this trade show until 6, I'm going to have my work cut out for me because I got to get all this stuff prepped tonight because I'm not dealing with it tomorrow.
Let me know what you need, bro. I got you.
Well, I'm going to upload everything to the shared drive so you guys will be able to see it. So I'm pretty much I need Tony to go ahead and look at it and tell me which one she wants to show. That's it.
Bet.
All right. Well, we're going to do our thing and say sayonara.
All right.
To all our compadres.
Peace, you guys. Thanks for showing up. I got to take this call.
Peace. He's got to take